Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I have just a couple of new plants that I want to show you guys. Pretty common ones, but still cute. And then I think the rest of the time I want to talk to you a little bit about chemicals and all of the different kinds of plant pharmacopoeia I have going on. And explain a little bit about my journey with supplementing my plants, how I feed them, how I treat them, and how that's been going for me. So let's just get right into it. First up, my new plants. I did order one, it's still on the way. I ordered a syngonium albo. And that has not arrived yet. But I did go to Lowe's Friday, doesn't matter. And I got a begonia maculata. I've actually never had one of these. I've had a begonia griffin that I loved. It was so gorgeous. And then it was like too drafty where I had it and dry during the winter, and it didn't survive the winter. So I wanted to get another one and try again. Something that maybe was a little bit more hardy, but I'm committed to misting my plants every day in the winter to keep them hydrated, and I'm going to get a humidifier to put over here and probably one to put upstairs as well. This plant is actually in my stairwell, so I'm going to get a humidifier for up there, and yeah, I'm committed this time. But this is a really beautiful plant. I've always really liked one. Look at the back of the leaves. I mean, gosh, it's so pretty. There's nothing to not like about this plant. So, and probably gotta be one of the hardier begonias out there, honestly. If you're looking for a begonia that you don't have to like keep in a terrarium and worry about humidity so much, this is, I think, a good option, and I'll let you know how it goes. The next thing I got was just from the grocery store. I got a mini phalaenopsis. She's in bloom and she's beautiful. Just beautiful. I actually don't already have a purple phalaenopsis. Both my phalaenopsis are white, and purple's like my favorite color. So look at this little cutie. I bought one. Actually, I got this at Target, and I picked one that still had unopened buds on it because I was like, oh, it'll last longer. Wrong. All of the unopened buds fell off because this thing was super dehydrated. So, but it seems okay now, but those buds are gone. Hey you guys, please forgive my appearance. I am in my guest bedroom and I'm sitting on my guest bed because I took a shower and then put some comfy clothes on, got ready to relax for the rest of the day. And a package came to my doorstep that I wasn't expecting until tomorrow, so I wanted to open it right away, but I want to do it on camera because it is a plant. I got this off of Etsy, and I'll put the seller in the description below. I did already open it because I was just going to open it, and then I was like, no, I'll make a video, so. Anyways, oh, cute. La Crest Creation. Enjoy your car coaster. As a free thank you. Oh, this is cute. So you put it inside your cup, like the bottom of your cup holder in your car. That's adorable. Aww. It says thank you. La Crest Creation. And it's got a bunch of little planties on it. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh, it's adorable. I love it. I'm gonna put it in my car. Okay, let's see. We got some paper. What have we got here? This is just instructions on what to do once you get to your plant. Follow us on Facebook, La Crest Creations. Wait, is it Lacrease? Lacreases? Oh my god, am I saying it wrong? Lacrease? I'm so sorry. Oh my god. Anyways, let's pull this bad boy out. Here's the plants. Now, I saw one of these plants on YouTube, actually, like a while ago. And I thought it was so pretty. I don't know I can't remember if it was like Wild Fern. I don't know if you guys watch her. She's amazing. She's one of my favorites. She's just so chill, and she has a million plants, and they're all so beautiful. So I really I really enjoy watching her. So I think it might have been her, but she had this beautiful version of it where she had like chopped and propped it a bunch of times. I'm having a hard time. And it made it kind of like a big like bushy plant, and it was so stunningly gorgeous. And there's a lot of variegated plants that can be really hard to take care of. And I think this one is maybe not so bad. So I can have a nice, beautiful, exotic looking plant without it being like really difficult to care for. Okay. Oh my gosh. Ooh, it's wrapped up so good. Let me just show you. So it's like in this cardboard, in this paper with all this fluff around it. And it's like taped in real good. Oh my gosh. This plant is not moving. Oh, isn't she pretty? Oh my goodness. Oh, she's even got a stake in here to hold it up. Okay, you guys, look at that. Oh gosh, this is so pretty. This is a syngonium albo. Very pretty. And if you watch the beginning of this video, you know I was talking about the fact that I ordered this and I hadn't gotten it yet. So here we are, I just got it. So yeah, this is such a pretty plant, and it's so healthy. Honestly, I was like a tiny bit concerned because it is starting to get cool at night. I don't think we've gotten to like a freeze yet, but it has been getting cool. So I was like, oh, I hope that doesn't get all sad in the mail. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. This is taped up so good. Look at how nice this leaf is. It's like half white. This is another really good one. I love this like minty green that variegated plants sometimes have. I'm a big fan of that. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not super huge on yellow variegation. I think it just kind of looks like the plant is sick. I know some people love it, and I've just never really been like a yellow girly. I've never really liked the color yellow. I mean, I like sunshine and stuff, but okay, here we go. I think I finally got it. Oh, so this is a nice, healthy plant. Look at that. Boy, it's got a lot of nodes down here that are empty. I bet I could repot it and pot it even deeper and get like a lot of good root growth off of there. I don't know. What do you guys think? Gosh, that's pretty. Anyways, back to the rest of the video. Anyways, so let's dive on into chemicals. I am a chemist by trade. That is my full-time job. I do not actually specialize in plant chemicals, but I can kind of understand it pretty well, I think. I used to not feed my plants enough. In fact, hardly at all. I would feed them when I remembered to, which back before I was medicated was not often enough. So, but now since I'd say the last year, I've been really committed to honestly feeding like every time I water. And I've also been a lot more committed to watering at least once a week. It's going to be harder for me in the winter because I'm going to have to dial back on watering and not water as much. And that is just inherently more difficult for me because I have a hard time remembering things, especially when I don't have routine and consistency. I think that's probably true for everyone. When you remove routine and consistency from the equation, it's hard to remember things. So I did download an app to help remind me. It's called Planta. I don't want to recommend it yet because I literally just downloaded it and entered all of my plants, which took forever. I just downloaded it. So I don't want to like recommend it yet because I don't honestly know how helpful or accurate it is at this point. So, but now, since I moved into this house, I feed every time I water and I supplement with Super Thrive. So let's talk about what I do on my regular waterings. So this is my watering can. You see it's just like a regular, I think this is like a quart size watering can. I fill this up. I had to fill it up several times in order to water all my plants. But this is what I use. And then I have just like Schultz's basic plant food. This is for foliar feeding. So my flowering plants, I do something different. I'll show you that. But this is for leaves and things, or best for leaves and things. Feeds every time you water, and then I just do like one full squeeze. So there's a dropper in here, I just squeeze it, put it into the watering can, one squeeze. And then also on top of that, into each watering can, I add a little bit of this Super Thrive. This stuff is literally magical. If you haven't heard of it, check it out. I don't know who that guy is. I'm assuming he invented it, and he is literally a plant angel who's going to fly to heaven with wings of begonia leaves. He's amazing. This is basically like vitamins. It's like a vitamin for plants. It has like non-essential nutrients, so not your phosphorus, nitrogen, and what's the other one? Phosphorus, nitrogen, and potassium. It has sort of other things. So I think it says on here, vitamin B1, thiamine, also has nitrogen derived from kelp, all that kind of stuff. So anyways, this stuff is amazing. So I add honestly like a quarter of a teaspoon to this quart, and then I just put regular, I know you have to be careful with your tap water. I think I'm pretty lucky that my tap water isn't super hard. I do live in the city, so I do have some chlorine in my water, but I don't think that it's like bad enough to cause a real problem. I mean, if you pour a glass of water and you can smell chlorine, then maybe you need to let your water sit out or use filtered water. But for me, it's great. And some plants, I think a lot of regular plants really don't like too filtered of water. Things like your carnivorous plants really appreciate that. When I had carnivorous plants, I used reverse osmosis water and they loved it, but I would not use that kind of water for my regular house plants. And there's a lot of reasons for that. And one of the more basic reasons why too pure of water is actually not good for most things, period, including people and animals and plants and all of that, is because things like salts and minerals move through cell membranes from high concentration to low concentration. So they try to equal out. If there's like a lot of minerals over here and not very much over here, all the minerals will leach over to this area. And that's what happens when you drink too pure of water, or if you use too pure of water to water your plants, is that the cell membranes can become basically nutrient deprived because all of the nutrients are leaving the cell membrane out into that super pure water to try and equilibrate or even out the concentration of nutrients. So anyways, that was a little bit of a chemistry lesson for you. So that's how I water my plants every time. Plant food, Super Thrive. Now, if I have a flowering plant, I use African violet food. This is made to keep African violets blooming all the time. This little guy, always in bloom, never not blooming. And that's because I give it this African violet food every single time. And the same thing, I use maybe like half a teaspoon in here. And then the Super Thrive, these two. And then I fill up my watering can with water. And I water all of my flowering plants. So that includes things like Hoyas, my Christmas cactus, my Queen of the Night sometimes, African violet obviously, and then my jewel orchid I feed this way. So that's what I do for flowering plants. Anyways, so get yourself a flower food. An African violet food is perfect for that. It's specifically designed to keep things blooming. Let's see, for my orchids, I do something a little different. For my orchids, I fill up this old brown pitcher and I use, okay, so I took this out of its original box, so I don't know what the brand is, but it's just regular orchid food, granulated orchid food. It comes with the scoop, right? It's got a little scoop, so I use the little side, and I think it's the little side per gallon. Oh, look, it's Miracle Grow. The brand is Miracle Grow. And then I do, since this is a small pitcher, I do half of the little scoop. Anyways, so I use granular orchid food into this, and then I do use just like Brita pitcher water, which isn't ultra filtered, but it's lightly filtered. So orchids just are a little bit more sensitive to things, like I said, like I use my city water, so more sensitive to things like chlorine. So then I use just like Brita pitcher water, and it seems to work really well. 2 of my orchids are blooming, so and that's every time. I feed every time, and I try to water them once a week. And for my orchids, I fill up the pot with the water, and then I let it sit for like 20 minutes, and then I drain it off. And that's how I water my orchids. I don't do ice cubes or any of that stuff. Ice cubes, I mean, honestly, if you think about it, like, are there any orchids in nature being watered by ice cold water? No, they're not. They're getting temperate or tropical rainwater, and that's what they like. So don't give your orchids ice cubes. If your orchid is thriving in spite of ice cubes, like, you need to give that orchid an award and appreciate it so much, because it is really putting on a show when it's in not ideal conditions. So let's talk about treatment of pests, because we get a lot of those. First, I'd like to talk about my Mighty Spray. It works really great for spider mites and what's the other one? Mealybugs. Anything that likes to sit on the leaves or in like the cracks of leaves and all that kind of stuff, this will work really great for. Things that feed directly on the leaves. This is 1 part isopropyl alcohol from the grocery store. It's like, I don't know, 90% or something. And then 2 parts water and a squirt of dish soap. The dish soap helps break through the insect's exoskeleton and also causes the isopropyl alcohol to stick to them, and for the isopropyl alcohol to stick to the plant itself. So the soap is more just like a carrier for the isopropyl alcohol. So it's not necessary. You could just do alcohol and water, but the soap helps give it longevity and lasting power. So you want to just like get a spray bottle, and if you have an afflicted plant, just spray the leaves really well, like once a week. Inside, like top side, underside of leaves, make sure you get everything, get the stem. A lot of times, like, I'll take a plant outside if I really need to douse it good. A couple other insecticides I use that are really good for things like fungus gnats or dealing with larvae that like to live in the soil are Thuricide or BT. What is it? Bacillus thuringiensis. I don't know how to say it. It's a bacteria. It's a bacteria that feeds on larvae. So if you put, again, like, I don't know, 1/4 of a teaspoon into your watering can when you water, and do that for like every time you water for like a month, that'll knock out fungus gnats super fast. And then another insecticide I like to use is systemic. So this is systemic houseplant insect control. I'm also not gonna attempt to pronounce that. I know I said I'm a chemist, but imidacloprid? I think I nailed it. Anyways, so this is actually little granules that you sprinkle on top of the soil. You just sprinkle it on in a very light layer, and it sits on the soil, and this I think lasts like a couple months. Yeah, a couple months. So you want to reapply this every couple of months if you're dealing with things like spider mites and mealybugs, because how this works is that it dissolves into the water as you water your plants, and it goes up into the roots and just sort of like goes into every part of the plant. So anything that takes a bite out of that plant or tries to feed off of the water in that plant is gonna die. The last thing I want to talk about is something that I use for propagation. This is rooting powder. It's like a rooting hormone. It's really awesome. It just sort of like encourages plants to form roots. So a lot of times if I'm like water propping or I'm propping in sphagnum moss or something, or even straight into the soil, you can like take your cutting and stick it right into the rooting powder and get it all nice and coated, and then stick it into your whatever you're trying to grow it in. And this will dramatically increase how well your plant roots and how quickly it roots. It really is amazing stuff. And I mean, it's not that expensive. I do have one more thing on the way. I bought some of those yellow sticky traps. If you can guess, I have some fungus gnats. So that's why I'm making this video, because the next time I water, I am going to use the Thuricide, and I'm also going to sprinkle with the systemic in all of my plants. I think maybe I might skip the orchids with this, but I might still use the Thuricide on the orchids. But I have I've been seeing some fungus gnats. I mean, again, like I said, I'm watering like once a week. I'm being really regular. I'm staying on top of it. And so things like fungus gnats are just going to be they're just going to be more of a problem. I mean, this is going to happen. And then my Alpine Schefflera, I think, might have spider mites. I don't know. I can't see any mites, and I've never had that happen. Usually when you have spider mites, like, you know, because you see their little webs and you can see their tiny little bodies. But I can't see anything. But it looks like spider mite damage because there's like the tiny little, like itty bitty, like pinprick yellow spots on the leaves. And it's starting to drop leaves, and the leaves that are still kind of healthy are maybe like a little droopy. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that thing. It's lost so many leaves now. You know what? I'll just show you. Okay, here it is in all of its glory. It still looks pretty good, but I would like for it to have more foliage on the stem. And it's just been dropping foliage. And let me see if I can find a leaf. That one looks okay. Okay, here. Look at this one. You see how it's kind of like the veins are yellowing? And it has like tiny little spots on it. I don't know, it just seems like spider mite damage. It lost a lot of leaves recently that were very yellow. So I put some systemic in here, and I will also put the Thuricide in here, but yeah, I don't know. I'm honestly kind of tempted to chop it and see if it comes back. If I do that, I'll probably buy some keiki paste. That's another cool plant product that you can buy that you can basically put near the nodes of plants, and it will sort of sprout wherever you put the keiki paste. It's used for cloning orchids. So anyways, I don't know about this thing. And here we have a sweet baby Gaius. Isn't he precious and cute? All right, anyways, I will show you what I do when I water next. I'll do some like close-ups of the mixes that I'm doing, and I'll show you some of my plants. But I do want to give you one good example when I'm talking about feeding regularly and using the Super Thrive is my Anthurium crystallinum, right? She's really beautiful. And I have had this thing for a few years, and it has only ever had 2 leaves on it the entire time I've had it. Every time it puts out a new leaf, it drops an old one. 2 leaves, that's it. I was ready to give up on this thing. Since I've been using the Super Thrive and feeding every week, it now has 3 leaves. And it bloomed last month, which has never done that before. So 3 leaves and it bloomed, and look, it's putting out a 4th leaf. And I thought, for sure it's gonna drop one of these. No, they aren't. None of the leaves are yellowing or anything. They're all super healthy. This one is fairly new. This one showed up like last month. It's not even super flat yet. You know, when you get Anthurium, when they come out, they're kind of like wavy for a while and then they flatten out nice. This one's still wavy, and we're getting a new leaf. I cannot even believe it. So there's your proof right there. The Super Thrive. Oh my God. It lives up to its namesake, you guys. It really, really does. Like, look how gorgeous that is. Look at this leaf. It's so pretty. One of these days I am going to get a leaf that doesn't have a hole in it, though. One of these days I'm going to get a leaf that doesn't have a hole in it. So, but I mean, yeah, look at that. Gosh, she's pretty. Okay, I'm going to put that back later. All right, thank you guys so much for joining me. Sorry the lighting is so weird. It's because the sun's going down so soon. I like literally just got home from work and it's like, that's the evening sun. It's almost gone. But thank you for joining me. I hope to see you again next time, and I hope you're having a really great time with your plants, and I hope that they're really putting on a show for you. And I hope you have some beautiful flowers coming up. Flowers in wintertime is like, it cannot be beaten. You know, it's the best. Everything's dead outside and you got flowers indoors. Shut up. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. You have a good one. Take care of yourself, take care of your plants, and take care of your pets. Bye-bye.